So we're done with SWOT analysis on strengths. So now we go to the weakness on SWOT. So these are the negative aspects of a business that may be identified from the internal audit. Weaknesses are what the business lacks or does poorly. For example, in relation to its competitors, there are the characteristics that undermine the performance of a business, perhaps preventing it from growing. There are also areas for improvement. Examples might include, before we go into the examples now, when we talk about weaknesses, we're talking about what the business does not do well, that is hindering the growth of the business. So what does that imply? It implies that the business could work on that to improve its status, to improve its growth. So how do you get this information? You gather this information also through the internal audit. So you gather your strength from the internal audit, you gather your weakness from the internal audit. So what are the examples here? One, a poorly motivated workforce with a high staff turnover. So when there is a staff turnover, it means workers continue to leave your organization year in, year out, which could be because they are not motivated, they are not happy working in your organization. This is a weakness of the firm. Most of the time, this occurs when firms see their workers as a cost. So they treat them poorly. They try to minimize them. This makes them to become demotivated, and they might choose to leave. So high rate of staff turnover is a weakness for a firm. That's one of the internal audits. Two, an organizational structure that has too many layers of management. When you have so much offices, when you have so much work, management staffs, this could also be an hindrance to the growth of the business. So the best way is to delayer. We call it delayering. Try to reduce the offices of the management. Do you understand what should be done there? When you have a structure that has so many layers of management, the only way out is to delayer. Thank you. So the only way out is to delayer, reduce the number of management staffs or reduce the number of their offices. Because when you have so much managers, it means decision making might be slow. And when there's slow decision making, it could also affect the growth of the organization. This is one of the problems big firms do have. They have a lot of managers. Having a lot of managers, you pay them so well with doing nothing. It could be repetition of work. So instead of you to put effort in ensuring that the workers are doing well, you continue to pay so much on managers that are doing nothing. This could make the workers to become demotivated. So this is an internal audit. Is it clear? Great. The third one. Great. The third one, a product range that is getting out of date. So check your product range. Is it getting out of date? What do you have to do? You need to update your products. You need to develop new ones if it needs be. You have to start thinking of extension strategy for your business, because it is also a weakness. If your product is out of date, if your product is outdated, then it means you are lagging. And when you are lagging, it gives your competitors edge over you. The fourth one, poor cash flow and growing debts. There's no cash inflow in your business and your debts continue to pile up. That means the business is not doing well. Because when the business is doing well, your debt should not pile up. Rather, your cash inflow should increase and your debt should what? To reduce. So if this is not happening, then there's a weakness in your business. There's a weakness in your analysis. Outdated tools and machinery. The kind of equipment you use, they must not be outdated. You must also keep up with updated equipment. You must keep up with updated equipment. If not, then you are lagging. This could give your competitors edge over you. Lastly, the kind of website you run. Your website must be up to date. If you are presenting a website that is poorly arranged, if you are presenting a website that is out of date, then you are lagging behind. This could also affect your business. you have any question about weakness there? Great. So we go to opportunities. Remember I told you in the SWOT analysis, the internal audit goes with the strength and the weakness that could be derived or deduced from information gathered through the internal audit. Then we go to the opportunities and the threats, which are information that we have to gather through the external audit. So we go to opportunities now. The external audit. The external audit should show up what opportunities are available to the business. These are the options or openings that the business might be able to exploit, resulting in improvements such as higher revenues or lower costs. Examples might, so when we talk about opportunities, we're talking about, yes?
Could we start economics tomorrow?
Yeah, if you have the info, if you have the
book.
Yeah, the book.
Yeah, I got it.
I'll
send it to you. Yeah, I'll send it to you after the class.
Okay, great. Yeah, we could start tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last class, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, because tomorrow makes it 4 days.
Oh, yeah.
Then we start again on Friday.
All right.
All right. So for the weakness, like I told you, for the opportunities, it's based on the external audit. So for our external audits, what are those opportunities we could have? One, a new overseas market opening up following the political change. Overseas market, maybe there's a new opportunity abroad based on the fact that the country is changing from one dispensation to another. So there's an opportunity for you to open or set up there. This is an opportunity for the business. Two, a fall in cost of an essential raw materials, such as oil. So if the cost of raw materials fall, it is an opportunity for the business. Yes or no? Great. The third one, low interest rates, which provide cheap finance for investment. When the interest rate, you know what the interest rate is? The price of borrowing or saving, which is decided by the government or the central bank of the country. So remember, when we talk about external audit, it is beyond our control. It is beyond the business control. So interest rate is also a government policy, which is beyond our business control. So if the central bank of the country reduces the interest rate, what does that imply? It implies that borrowing becomes cheap. So that means you can borrow or you can take a loan from the bank at a cheaper rate, which means you can finance your investment. That is also an opportunity. The fourth one, a fall in the exchange rate. A fall in the exchange rate does what? It makes exports cheaper. It makes you to have international competitiveness. So because when the exchange rate of a country reduces, it makes the prices of exports to fall. So your foreign customers will be able to buy more of your products because the product becomes cheaper for them to buy. Foreign currency will buy more of your own currency. So this makes a business to become internationally competitive, which is also an opportunity for the business. The fifth one, some difficult regulations being abolished. So when some regulations are being abolished, we call it deregulation. So when there's deregulation, there's an opportunity for the business. Do you understand? Do you understand, please? And lastly, the falling of a major rival in the market. Maybe one of the market leaders stop being in operation. This also it becomes an opportunity for your business as when a new rival comes into the market. So what we are talking about in a nutshell is this. I'm quickly going to expatiate further on it. I'm going to explain or recap it. When you're talking about opportunities in the market, we're talking about things that happen within the market that is beyond the control of the business. One, an opportunity abroad that you are able to, maybe due to political change, you're able to establish your business abroad. It is an opportunity in the market. Two, a fall in the cost of raw materials, which is also an opportunity for the market. Three, low interest rates, which means borrowing becomes cheaper. So if borrowing becomes cheaper, it means a firm will be able to borrow to finance investments. Four, a fall in exchange rates. A fall in exchange rates makes exports to become cheaper. And if exports become cheaper, a business that is in exporting line or that is in exporting operation becomes internationally competitive, because foreign customers will be able to buy more of that product that it's exporting. The sixth one, deregulation, which means some difficult regulations has been abolished, which is also an opportunity in the market. And lastly, a fall of a major rival in the market. When one of your biggest competitors or your biggest rival stop being in operation, it means you will be able to take its customers or take its market share, which is also part of an opportunity. Do you understand opportunity in SWOT analysis? Great. So we'll go on to the threats. So for the threats, the external audit should show up what threats face the businesses. What threats face the business? Threats are the possible dangers that have the potential to damage the performance of the business. So when you talk about threats, opportunities are what could improve the business. Threats are what could damage the business, what could bring down the business, what could make the business to stop being in operation. So what are the examples? Number one, a new entrant in the market. So if a new business comes to join the industry, it becomes a threat. Just the same way as a competitor stop being in operation, which is an opportunity. So a threat is when a new business joins the industry. Two, a rival employing a new and highly successful chief executive officer. When your competitors employ a skillful or a successful chief executive officer, it means your business is in for a big competition, which is also a threat. Three, a probable recession. You know what recession is? A fall in economic activity in 6 months consecutively. So when this happens, it affects the business. It's a threat to the business. Four, new legislation, new laws aimed at improving rights of employees. When governments make up laws to improve the rights of employees, it becomes a cost for the business. That is also what? A threat. Is it clear? The fifth one, increasing pressure from environmentalists. Here we're talking about social responsibility. So, which is part of how you treat your environment. So when they tell you we don't want pollution, when they tell you we want you to start using energy saving equipment. So this is also a threat to the business. The last one, a change in social attitude towards the business key products. Whatever businesses say about your products, oh, customers start, the environment, the society start having a feeling or a negative attitude towards your products, then that's a threat. That is also a threat. Is threat clear here? All right, so SWOT analysis is often SWOT analysis is often carried out in mind mapping sessions before being documented. That means before being officially recorded. It can be a powerful way of summarizing and building upon the results of internal and external audits. Clearly, it will be a useful tool when developing a corporate strategy, but it may be other uses. It may have other uses. For example, it might be used to decide which new products to launch. design a new marketing strategy, decide whether to outsource a specific business task or activity, such as IT, prepare a completely new business venture, plan a restructuring of the business. So we don't only use SWOT analysis for corporate strategy, but for mind mapping. We can also use it for corporate strategy. So whatever we do about our corporate strategy, we make it because of a long-term plan of the business. Also, we can use SWOT analysis to decide the kind of product we want to launch, the new product we want to launch. We can use SWOT analysis for it. We can use SWOT analysis for our marketing strategy. Maybe we need to, at this point in time, we need to use advertisement or any sales promotion. We can use SWOT analysis. 3, we can use SWOT analysis to decide if to outsource some of our business activity or not. When you talk about outsourcing, outsourcing means you are giving what you used to do to other companies that you feel are competent or are specialists in that aspect. Maybe you have a whole lot to do as a business and you felt you are unable to carry out those functions. So instead of you procrastinating about it, you could give it to an outsourcing, you could outsource it. And by outsourcing, it means you're giving it to a company or a business that could do, that you think could do better in that operation or in that production. So you can use your SWOT analysis to know if there is a need for you to outsource some of your business activity or not. You can use a SWOT analysis to determine if you need to start a new business venture or not. You can use a SWOT analysis to restructure your business. Do you have any question about it?
No, it's clear.
Great. So I think you understand what SWOT analysis is for. SWOT analysis is not just for corporate strategy. SWOT analysis can also be used for the following that I mentioned: to launch a new product, to think if you, to decide to outsource, to decide if you have to outsource some of your business activity or not. You can use SWOT analysis to restructure your business venture. You can use SWOT analysis to think about any marketing strategy you need to use. Then we move on.
Right.
So we have example of SWOT analysis, which is let's say